Hello lovely people, welcome to the video. My name's Athena. I'm a writer working on my second book. That's gonna take a bit of getting used to. Working on my second book, whilst homeschooling my two girls and being with them 24/7. My first book, aforementioned first book, is fighting for its life in the quarry trenches. That is just, yeah. The quarry trenches are just, they're killing me, slowly, very, very slowly. I have been querying, I think, for about, it's been 6 weeks now? 6 weeks of querying, which is insane. Anyway, I am trying to turn on my computer, which is refusing to turn on. New project, book number 2, paranormal romance, paranormal ghosty romance. It is Friday the 24th of April. I have spent these past few days working on what I can only call an outline, I guess. It's kind of a zero draft, but it's more of like an outlining each chapter, kind of figuring out the scenes and what I want to do. My beat sheets are like fully set up. I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 between the Save the Cat and Romancing the Beats, like 1 or 2 beats that are not very clear. Everything else is pretty clear, which is like, who even am I? Who even am I at this point? I have spent the time, I have set up scenes. My zero draft, and I'm just looking at the zero draft here. My zero draft is currently sitting at 23 chapters, which I know there will be more because I do love my chapters. Like, I love short chapters, lots of chapters. I do not like chapters that are just super long, and especially I feel in romance and in dual POV, it's just, yeah. It's what I like in my own reading, and it's what I like writing. But you never know how it turns out because I have been proven wrong. I have written long chapters in the past because it's just the way the scene turned out. So who knows? With that being said, I'm sitting at 23 planned chapters. Again, plans can change as it flows. I know Act 3 will definitely, so Act 1 is pretty set. Act 2 is quite clear, planned out nicely. We're expecting things to kind of, you know, flow depending on how things go. Act 3, I have a general outline. Like, for example, Act 1, I have like whole paragraphs of outlining. Act 2, some have 1 paragraph, some have maybe a little bit less, some even have more. Act 3, it's like one line. I generally know what's gonna happen, but how I'm gonna get there is kind of left open to how Act 1 and Act 2 are gonna be written. Now, with that being said, I am pretty much, let me see, do I have everything aligned in every single one? I don't think I do. I have, yeah, I think I was up to 1 phrase, chapter 20. Yeah, so chapter 22 I don't have anything, and as well as chapter 23. Those are like the 2 last ones, but really it's kind of, it depends on everything, so I'm not too concerned about that. So with that being said, this is okay. I am completely insane. Okay, you can comment down below and tell me I'm literally like, this is not a thing. A.K. Mulford, I think that's how you pronounce her name. If I butchered it, I apologize. Is this amazing human being. She is from Australia. She lives here in Australia. She is an author. She writes all sorts of like amazing books and whatnot. And she is currently she does this like, I think 3-4 times a year, like a quarterly basis, I believe, where she does a 30K in 3 days challenge. And she invites people on the Discord and whatnot to do this challenge. And it is starting tomorrow. It is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The logic is you write 10,000 words per day, like each of these days. If you have an outline, if everything is nice and planned out, if you have what you need and some peace and quiet, you can do this. I do not have peace and quiet. I have an outline. I do not have peace and quiet. However, this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do the challenge. I'm probably gonna give myself, I'm thinking, not a head start per se today, but we'll talk about that in a second. I'm gonna do this challenge for one main reason. Well, I think it's 2 kind of blending together. The way my book is going in the quarry trenches is really getting me down. And even though I know rejections are part of the process and it's just kind of how it goes and everyone is getting rejected and people need 2 and 3 books in the quarry trenches before they actually get an agent, it kind of gets you down. So I need a book to start forming so that I can actually feel like I'm moving forward, like I'm doing something. And I had intended to have a first draft ready at this point with this book, but with the moving, non-moving, back and forth, everything naturally, you know. So I thought this would do me some good to push myself. I don't know, I mean, I don't want to like already say, oh, I'm not going to achieve it, because you never really know, okay? I've been known to do crazier things, but even if I don't hit the 30K in the 3 days, I want to, like, even if I hit 20K or 10K, You know, like it's still, I want to make as much progress within this challenge base because I work very well under like challenging kind of circumstances. So if I challenge myself, I don't know, it just kind of does something to my brain, right? So this is the deal. I have basically a pretty good outline. I know what I'm going to write. I know each scene. There are some scenes that I probably do know I need, like I probably need a bit more romance, a bit more of this, a bit more of that. That will happen later on as well. This is the zero draft. This is like the basic story forming so that I can then work on it and create my first draft. So I'm not too worried about that. It's not even about descriptions and character descriptions and whatnot. It's about the story, which is why I think I could do it. I don't know. Anyway, so what I'm going to do today, what I said before, I said I might give myself a head start. So not literally in the drafting, like jumping in with the words. I have already written, so up to, where did I stop? So I had written, so chapter 1 is like a full scenes. Okay. Then chapter 2, there's one scene and then there's another scene which is kind of half scene, half outline. Again, half scene, half outline. And then I wrote the meet cute, but it was not like, it just, I didn't like it at all. Like, ugh, it was terrible. So what I'm thinking, because the meet cute is her inciting incident, like meeting him is what kind of sets the ball rolling for her to realize certain things and for her to kind of, everything's like shifting and changing in her, what she thinks is her reality. I need the meet cute to be better, basically. And then from that point on, I have very little, I do have a few more like full-on scenes moving down. So like chapter 7 has full-on scenes written out. There's a scene that's been written in chapter 8, but there are scenes then in between that I need as well. So I think what I might do today to kind of give me a kind of head start, I guess, is go back to the meet cute, which is pretty much where I kind of stopped and I started like outlining kind of. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. Yeah, because then I have written out chapter 7, chapter 8, I have full scenes there. So I'm gonna kind of go through what I've already written. That's the goal for today. This is the goal, okay? This is the goal. It is currently just before 11 a.m. and I'm probably gonna have to, probably gonna set up what I'm gonna do and then head off to get some food cooking and whatnot. The girls are playing inside. They're sick and now they're just, yeah. So how much free time I will have with sick children, and I do not know. Anyway, the plan right now, before I let you go and come back to you, hopefully with progress, hopefully, is I'm going to tackle chapter 2 and chapter 3 and 4. So 3 chapters, which one leads to the meet cute, and then it's the other 2 are the actual meet cute from the 2 POVs. I don't know if I'll keep it from the 2 POVs. The initial one was done between the 2 POVs, like half and half, but I didn't like it. So I might literally just do it from one person's POV. We'll see. It kind of makes sense from his POV, to be honest. I feel like, so this is the question I have with this project. I feel like the male main protagonist, the male main character, is a lot more, like there's a lot more at stake for him. Like there's a lot more happening, even though for her too though. I think it's just because it hasn't formed fully. Like it's forming as we speak, so it's kind of, you know, there's a lot more of him, but I feel like nowadays people don't like reading books that have too much of the male perspective. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Comment down below. Let me know. I have no idea. So I enjoy reading books, but like with dual POV. So what if it's more leaning, I don't know. Anyway, we shall see. It will probably change by the time I get to like the 3rd, 4th, 5th draft. So I'm gonna go through and just figure out what I am checking. So I think those 3 chapters right now are my goal. When I get back, I want to have made progress with the meet cute. That's okay. Okay, quick little update. It is almost 1 o'clock. I have food cooking. I have managed to get writing done. I have written, how many words? 1,000 words. I mean, is that enough to get me through a 10,000 word day challenge? I don't know. I'm also feeling a little tired at this point, but I can still write. Like, it's not impacting my writing. It's just I'm kind of losing myself in the writing, and then I'm, you know. So I have just rewritten the entire meet cute. And it needs work, but as a zero draft version, I am happy with it. So we're just leaving it, we're not touching it again. That's the whole point of the zero draft. Zero draft, you write, you move on. You do not edit, you do not go back, you do not. The only reason I did allow myself to kind of go back now is because I need to kind of have a certain clarity and so that I can continue the writing without kind of stopping and starting and trying to keep everything in my head, kind of that kind of thing. So I have written the meet cute, and it is from his POV. So now the next scene is her kind of debating, basically, since the meet cute for her is her inciting incident. So she's gonna be debating certain things, and she's gonna start kind of get the ball rolling in other aspects. So we're gonna do that scene next. And then there's a scene where he is chatting with his best friend about this girl he met and whatnot. And I think that's technically his no way moment, according to the Romancing the Beats beat sheet. So yes. And then I have, like a whole thing written, but I need to figure out what I'm gonna keep from this, because like I have literally 2 pages worth of stuff that I don't know. Then I just have outline, and then chapter 7 has whole scenes. Okay. I'm not gonna think about this too much. I'm just gonna take it step by step, and where am I? I'm here. Okay. We're moving into, the other thing is jumping between POVs is, you know, but at this point I'm not worrying too much about the voice, because again, it's a zero draft. I'm starting to get a feel for their characters and their more like personalities and how they speak and how they react, and you know, that's the fun thing with the zero draft, fun things. So I'm gonna go check on the food that is cooking, because I've been in here for like, I don't know how long I've been writing at this point. And then I'm gonna get back and just get some more writing done, see how much writing we get done today. And then tomorrow we're gonna start 30K, 3 days, 30K. Can I even, I don't know. I don't think, should I count the words from today? It depends on how many words I write today. We'll see. We'll see how many words we end the day with. I might set up a pacemaker and just set it up for like today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, just to kind of keep track of how many words I write in this little, yeah. We shall see. I'm gonna go check on the food, come back and get writing done, and we'll see how we go for the day. Okay, it is Tuesday, the 28th of April, and I should have updated you guys sooner, but well, who saw it coming that I wouldn't be able to vlog over the weekend? And then Monday was just a whole other, you know, the rejections, the query rejections, just keep coming, and I'm taking a bit of a break. I'm taking a bit of a breather, but that's a whole other, you know, me and querying, we're just not, anyway, I'll probably talk about it in the next video, just, you know. But yeah, as for this video, so I set out to do a challenge. I knew that 10,000 words a day was not gonna be a thing for me. However, I still got just over 2,000 words on Saturday. I got, actually not just over, I think it was like 2,400 words. So I got just over 2,000 on Friday, just over 2,000 on Saturday, 1,000 words on Sunday, which, considering I had 0 time to write, is spectacular. And then yesterday I also got a good 900 to 1,000 words. So what has happened is what I wanted to happen from this challenge. I knew I wasn't going to be able to hit the actual 30K in 3 days. But what I wanted to do was force myself to start thinking that I need to write. Like, I am doing a challenge and I need to write. And then what's ended up happening is I have started writing every day and actually really putting in writing. And it's actually in my manuscript right now. My zero draft is sitting at just over 16,000 words. So I am gearing up for the midpoint at this point. Again, it is a zero draft, so there's no descriptions, there's no detail, there's a lot missing. So, you know, my goal is 40,000 words. It might come out less than that, and that's fine. This is literally just the zero draft. It's just kind of getting the general story there, and then I'm gonna really go to town with it. Sitting at just over 16,000 words, gearing towards the midpoint, I'm feeling really good. And also, okay, Okay, so this is what happened. I have been getting hit by rejections. Okay, a lot of query is great, synopsis is great. We didn't connect with the pages, and I'm just like, that first chapter is just killing me. I don't know what else to do to it, honestly. I'm probably gonna send it off to like a professional editor at this point and just see what they have to say about it as well. Because anyone else who's critiqued it is just, I don't know. Anyway, my battery's gonna die soon. So with that being said, I have this idea in my head, which we'll talk about more in the next video, which I'm pretty much gonna start right away. I'm gonna start vlogging this week, 2-3 days. I don't know when I'm gonna vlog, but you know, it's gonna be a writing vlog. My thought process is this. I want to challenge myself to finish the zero draft as soon as humanly possible. So I initially had this idea in my head of like, oh, I'm gonna finish it around the 15th of May. I'll give myself until the 15th of May. That's too long. That is way too long. Especially considering I'm gearing up for the midpoint right now, it is way too long. Okay? Okay. So I am literally working towards finishing it as soon as humanly possible. Can I finish it before the end of April? That would be spectacular. First week of May. That's the, you know. As I said, I am challenging myself. I mean, the first week of May, wait, let me see. Today's the 28th of April. So I need a calendar very quickly. Thank you very much. What is my computer's taking forever? Okay, so we technically would have today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So 3 days. Yeah, I can't finish it by then. That's enough. But definitely by next week. I have to challenge myself. That's the point. I need to challenge myself and push myself and tackle this draft so that I can then work on the first draft. And then I can send it to people. I can send it to my critique partner as I'm working on the first draft. I can get it just read and edited and yeah. My brain is starting to switch over from one project, and I'm querying the one project and I'm really trying to get it out there, to I need to work on this new project and get a query ready. Like I need to have a manuscript set up and ready to go into the query trenches if and when this one is done. I still have a lot of agents to query. It's not that I don't and that it's dying in the query trenches yet. It's just, as I said, when I'm getting a lot of like, I have agents who want to see my work again, like the exact same project again, if I make changes to the manuscript. Like if I make any changes to the manuscript, they're happy to see it again. And I'm like, they love the concept, they love the premise, and I'm like, okay, then why, okay, but what do I need to fix though? Like, yeah, hence the professional editing. Anyway, I will probably talk about this more in the next video as I start it right now, and I'll just end this one here. And yeah, I'm going really well. I'm definitely jumping into this and really gearing ahead to just get the zero draft done as soon as humanly possible. I need it for my mental state. I do. I'll see you guys in the next one.